Just start singing.
All right, everybody, welcome back. You made it. You made it to season 5 of XMAS Your Enthusiasm. Give yourself a pat on the back, or however you congratulate yourself, your business. This season is brought to you by our new sponsor, Cheetos. Cheetos, fuck you. You know you like them. So let's get into. Well, first of all, I'm sorry. Not sorry, but I don't know why it's taking me 3 months. I mean, the 3 months between seasons. I mean, Christmas, the holidays are crazy and everything. Mine were fantastic, of course, getting back to normal now. Anyway, in 2025, I thought it was going to be a special year for me because for the first time ever, the year coincided with, well, not coincided, the year is the same, or 2025 was, as my address. XMAS Your Enthusiasm, 2025, blank, 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 blank. Why am I acting like somebody's stalking me? I couldn't pay for a fucking stalker. Not that I couldn't afford it. Well, I don't know. How much is a stalker? Anyway, I need to watch The Odd Job. Anyway, what the fuck was I saying? Okay, so after 4 seasons, Larry his win-loss record is 229 and 212. The last season, he went 50 and 55. That was his first. I think that was his first losing season, and it really closed the gap. We'll see if that continues, which is why I'm not doing these in order, because I don't want people to start guessing how he's going to finish. But it seems like maybe he got lucky. We just happened to do a bunch of episodes at the beginning in which he wins a lot. I don't know. Maybe it'll be different. I don't know. Anyway, this episode today is Thank You for Your Service, Season 9, Episode 5. And according to that, on YouTube, on IMDb, which I should have had waiting for me on my, I was going to say computer screen. Who says it? My laptop, waiting for you so I could read the description instead of talking absurdly slow like this while I'm trying to bring it up like an idiot. Maybe this is a good time to remind everybody this season is brought to you by Cheetos. Cheetos, fuck you. You know you like them. Here we go. All right. Here we go. Thank you for your service. Larry fails to be suitably patriotic when meeting Jeff's future son-in-law. He also tries to reset his relationships with his mail carrier and security guard. I'll be honest, I don't know if this is just going to keep happening. When I saw that this was the episode I randomly generated, thank you, ladies, I swear I've done this already. I mean, we're only a third through this whole thing, and I swear I've done these episodes, but I guess that's just a testament to how many times I've actually seen these episodes over and over. So anyway, let's get right into it. Season 9, Episode 5, and Episode 1 of Season 5 of XMAS Your Enthusiasm. I don't even know what the fuck I am with that. Thank you for your service. Okay, right off the bat, I'm not going to score this necessarily, but this first scene right away sets up what I think is going to happen later. Larry's trying to get through the security gate at I think he's going into his office, and there's a guy here who's super friendly, super nice, but he's Mr. Chatty McChatterson times 10. And this is different. This is unique in that, Larry's being nice, but this is different in that you have to roll your window down to physically, I don't know, he gives him something or whatever. And you're really fucked because you can't roll the window up in the guy's face in mid-sentence. Like Larry's trying to do it now. He hasn't really done it. The guy just hasn't taken a breath. This is a tough one, so we'll see how it goes. Again, he's the greatest, seems to be the nicest guy in the world, but once you just physically, literally can't break away from a social situation like that, that's different than just standing there at a dinner party with your chicken teriyaki stick or whatever. Anyway. Okay, Larry's complaining at the club now with Richard Lewis. We love you, Richard. And Jeff says something. He's like, once that window goes down, it can't come back up. And he's right. It's just like in an Uber. Once you take your headphones out, boom, that's it. You can't end it. You're fucked. You're fucked. So boy, I'm really feeling for Larry right now. I don't know if I'm, it's another year. I'm getting older. I'm softer. But anyway, not going well. Okay. Update. I was wrong about a couple of things here. I went back a few minutes. Looks like he's going to his club, so it's not his office. Whatever. But I just rewatched him coming through the gate, and he doesn't have to roll his window down. The guy could just wave him through. I thought he had to hand him something or something, but no. So Jeff's right. You lower the fucking window. Sorry. And like Larry says, he's the only one in the club. Both of the other two guys are like, fuck that. I don't talk to this guy. Look, nobody's saying that's going to win you, get you into heaven. But that does change how I see this whole thing. Larry, you didn't have to roll the window down. Now, do we want to give him credit for apparently being the only guy at this snotty, snobby, douchebag club to talk to this guy? And now he's kind of fucked for that. Is he going to get dinged because he's the only nice guy in the first place? Or should he get credit for that? Because we could also say, because he also says, talking to Jeff and Richard, I'm really wishing ill for this guy, like he'd lose his job. Well, I'm sure if a big muckety-muck of this club wanted to get rid of the security guy, he could make it happen. But do we give Larry credit for that, for not being the douchiest of the douchebags? Anyway, sorry. I'm coming in hot on season 5. I'm all twisted, guys. I don't know what the fuck I'm thinking. Anyway, remember this season brought to you by Cheetos. Cheetos, fuck you. You know you love them. Okay, the first decision of the year, of the season. We did it, guys. Richard asked, he had lent Larry some book. He asked, and I guess Larry's friend, he wants it back. And Larry gives him shit like, I doubt you even read it, and on and on. And it's like, Larry, it's his fucking book. If he wants it back, give it back. I don't know why this. And finally, Jeff cuts them off. Don't worry, Richard. I'll make sure you get it. Like, is this a sapphire ring from, Uganda or something? He's got to, go around the world to get, or is just like you may have to take 3 minutes out of your life to deliver this book to your best friend for 100 years? And I should ding you twice because this whole what do you keep? Why do you need your book back? What do you want it as a trophy? That's a direct ripoff of Seinfeld. So come on, Larry David. 0-1, Larry David. 0-1. Shitty start to the season, my friend. All right, I can hear myself doing it now. I have to stop saying Larry David over and over. Why am I doing that instead of just saying Larry? Why am I trying to sound like the coolest, most ironic guy in the world when I probably already am? So I don't even need to try. Anyway, sorry. I'll try to stop doing that in the future. Okay. I have to do a little side note here. I just listened to these three motherfuckers' lunch order. I have never wanted to join a country club less, which 30 seconds ago was 0 anyway, than hearing this lunch. Beef and goat cheese salad, Vietnamese pho, and Dover sole. What the fuck is going on in these kitchens and country clubs? What happened to a club sandwich, burger, salad, normal food? Is this around the world at the country club? It's not country's club. I wouldn't eat any of this shit. Maybe the Vietnamese pho, but that is a incredibly disparate menu for what I'm guessing is a incredibly beige, and by that I mean white, demographic. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm sure this is like like an airport, just melting pot, diverse, so diverse. It's coming in from all lands to taste your wares. Or is it everybody coming from fucking Beverly Hills or whatever? It's fucking hysterical. This is the worst fucking lunch order I've ever heard in my fucking life. Okay, now we got Larry David, dumb shit 101. They're sitting there eating lunch. A guy comes walking in, some best friend that we'll never see again. He just had a kid, passes the phone around. Everybody's like, oh, she looks great. Awesome. Congrats, blah, blah, blah. Larry takes one look. She looks Asian, hands it back. All right, that's an automatic L. Just, who the fuck, even for Larry David, just say, hey, first of all, nobody cares. Don't pretend you care. We know you don't care. I mean, I barely give a shit when people hand me of a newborn. You just say, oh, congrats, great, looks fantastic. I'm sure they'll be a wonderful person, and move on. Larry's got to say that. And then he's got to double down. He gets another loss here because then the guy says, hey, look, I'm trying to get out of here. Can you just say you're sorry? We can move on, put this behind us. And Larry goes through this whole rigmarole. I can apologize for upsetting you, but I stand by my statement. So of all the dumb things to double down on. But what I should give him a third and more important ding for is, in this at least the second time, and we've only done, this is our 41st episode, at least the second time we've done this, your baby looks Asian shit. Like, how many times what is happening, what does Larry see every time he sees babies? Is he surprised they're not fully grown adults with hats and glasses and in suits? So they look this, they look that. I think we've done one where it's like, the baby looks black. I mean, how many times are we going to do this fucking thing? Unbelievable. I should do 0 for 3 for that one, but quickly he did 0 for 2 for the scene. Right off the bat in this season, he's 0 for 3. Will Larry go the entire season without getting a single win? We'll find out. And along the way, we'll be sponsored by Cheetos. Cheetos, you know you fucking love them. Anyway, we'll see how this fucking turns out. Okay, so now there's a knock on the door. There's a postal carrier. She's this younger, attractive woman. And of course, Larry just starts talking her on. And I don't even know if we're supposed to think this, because this is the first time I've thought of this. Now, this isn't an episode I've watched as many as a lot, because obviously it's not one of the classic ones, the great ones. But I've seen enough, and I don't think this has ever occurred to me, so I don't know if we're supposed to, but then again, I'm a fucking idiot. But Larry does to her exactly what he's so upset about the guy, the security guard, doing to him. She's standing there, transacts their business. Hey, girls. And then he just blathers away while she's forced to kind of stand there and nod her head, and he just won't shut the fuck up. Again, I don't know if we're supposed to notice that, but that shows you the weirdness of this show. I love this show with all my heart. That's why I'm doing this fucking podcast. I thoroughly enjoyed that scene, watching it. But just like the entire show itself, almost every premise and situation, it's fun to watch. We love it. But if you take more than 0 seconds to look at it and think about it for a second, it kind of all fucking falls apart. But anyway, I just wanted to point that out. But of course, then Larry wants her. He's like, oh, now that I'm talking to this fucking postal carrier, he asks her if she'll bring the book Richard wants back to his house. And then she says, she can't do it. And Larry fights. She's like, it's illegal. You have to package it and blah, 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 blah. She says, I'll be glad to do it if you package it up, whatever. So, boom. 0 and 4. Larry might never win again. But also, she's like, 2 blocks away? So, Richard's only 2 fucking blocks away? And Larry can't fucking walk the 2 blocks? He's got to get into like a mini argument with this postal carrier, who also at the end makes a big deal of telling him she's single. I can't remember if this happens, but after all that, she's going to ask Bernie Sanders looking motherfucker out. Like, anyway, I don't remember if that happens, but all this for 2 fucking blocks? Fuck that. I should ding him twice, but that's not right. Larry's 0 and 4. He may never fucking win again. Not the way this is fucking going. 0 and 4 so far. Okay, I have to say this. Now Larry's talking to Richard, so he is interested in the male woman. Is that okay to say? Male woman? Fuck it, 2026. He is thinking there's something with the male woman. He's talking to Richard Lewis, and they get into a bit about how men don't care about what women do, unlike vice versa. And I'm sorry, Larry, but this bit was done and much better by Sinbad back in the early 90s. I'm going to tell you people right now, you can shit on Sinbad all you want, but those 2 comedy specials he did in the early 90s, I'd put up against anything. I love every bit of them. Go watch those. I'm not saying Larry ripped that off. He probably didn't watch it, but he should have, and Sinbad did it better. So, all right, now this is another, does he think he's doing a bit? He mentions Susie's Jeff's kid Sammy's upcoming wedding. He's like, I got the invite. And so he's like, no, that's not the invite. That's a save the date. So then we get into what's the use of a save the date? Da, 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 da. It's like, shut the fuck up, Larry. Obviously, you're going to know when the wedding is and you're going to go, this is just how she does it. This is how society does it. Who gives a shit? I can't believe you even saw it noted that you had in the first place. Who gives a shit? It's just a little cringy to watch. I don't know if he thinks he's doing a bit. 0 and 5, Larry. Now I'm starting to root for history here. I'm going to have to make myself not lean into throwing a no-hitter here if he can go winless. This is just weak shit, Larry. Come on, turn it around, bro. Okay, now in comes little Sammy's fiance. The guy's played by the rapper kid who's Tom Hanks' rapper son, otherwise known as the other one. Even though the first one nobody really fucking knows or cares about. But anyway, he had served in Iraq and everything, and everybody's like, oh, thank you for your service. And Larry just says, hey, good to meet you. Now everybody's yelling at him because they didn't say thank you for your service. And that's a tough one to win, Larry. You're not winning that one. So that's 0 for 6. Yeesh. Okay, now he's on a date with the male woman. So somehow we're supposed to believe this young, attractive woman who, with this octogenarian who kind of thirsted for him. It's not like he had to woo her. I think all she knows about him so far is he looks like Bernie Sanders, and he seems incredibly desperately lonely because he wouldn't let her go. Just Mr. Chatty Chat 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 Chat. And she knows he's too fucking lazy to walk 2 blocks to see his best friend of 100 years. And yet, wow, here they are at the movies. Okay, yeah, okay. Ooh, and they have their first argument as a pseudo couple. He's like, all right, let's get popcorn or whatever. And she's like, oh, we'll get, Reese's Pieces, whatever, Hershey Kisses, M&Ms, and throw them all in the popcorn. And Larry, rightfully so, says, what the fuck? That's bullshit. Popcorn. Number one, I've always dreamed of having a theater where, okay, it's a regular theater. You can have your fucking, they got Thanksgiving dinner at these things now. You can have whatever you want. But there should be a single line just for popcorn. I'm by myself. All I want is popcorn. The beyond classic thing you should be eating in the movie theaters, exclusive to everything else. And I got to wait while you've got your 9 kids all pointing out their 3 different favorite fucking kind of nerds or whatever. Fuck that. Should have its own line anyway. Larry's 100% right. The default snack at a movie theater should always be popcorn, movie theater popcorn. And secondly, all right, I understand you may like M&M's thrown in with your popcorn, but you shouldn't assume everybody does. Why not let that be hey, you know what I like? Here's a little something into me. What, now I'm fucking giving dating advice? The universe has collapsed on itself. Why don't you do a little, hey, you know what? While we're enjoying this popcorn, a little thing I like, a little something about me is I like to mix in M&Ms. And that may be a fun little conversation to have. Personally, I love popcorn. I love movie theater popcorn. I love M&Ms. I don't want them mixed together. Let me tell you something. It took 17 minutes into this episode. Oh, wait. I meant of the, let me see. Hold on. Sorry, almost 13 minutes in. 13 minutes into the season for Larry to get his first win. Wow. And it came because, he is 1,000% right. When you're at the movies, get some fucking popcorn and go sit down. 1 in 6, Larry. Here comes the greatest comeback of all time. Let's see it. Okay. And he's waiting on the popcorn and the snacks. She's like, oh, I'll get our seats. And on top of everything else, he says, get me an aisle seat. Which to her should remind her, oh, that's right, this guy's 1,000 years old. He's going to be getting up to go fucking take a piss every 5 seconds. Well done, Larry. Anyway, I don't know why I'm picking on him. At least he has a date. I'm throwing out this dating advice, sitting all by myself talking to you people. Anyway. Okay, now he's doing this thing where he's just walking in front of the movie theater, in front of the screen, shouting out, Jane, looking for, shouting. Number one, this happened. This was a big part of a Seinfeld episode, obviously. And number two, I've been in movie theaters plenty of times in my life. No more than a normal person, no less. Not once have I seen a person walking around, Larry, Ted, Susie. I've never seen that happen in my fucking life. I'm pretty sure if you did that, you'd have to fucking move to another town because you would be famous for a shitty reason. And yet, Larry, this seems to happen almost every time he walks into a fucking theater. Now, of course, after he's found her, he's yelling and blaming her. Why weren't you beckoning? And she's like, why were you shouting? What the fuck? He loses all his momentum. That's a quick loss. Larry, you just look around. There's plenty of light in the theater. You can't just be shouting. I thought we were on the way to the greatest comeback of all time, and no. 1 in 7 right now. I will say that after last season's, if you remember, just didn't seem to be a lot of incidents. I didn't say transgression. Already we have 8. We're halfway through, so Okay, this is I can't with this show anymore. So now they're at the door. He's dropping her off after this disastrous date, and he says, you know what, let's reset this and let's just go back to homeowner mail carrier. It's weird to me he says homeowner, but whatever. And he goes through this whole thing, and then he even reveals to her that like all of his witticisms from that evening, which the only thing she would have found charming or likable about him, he had rehearsed and had in his head and whatever. So he even exposed all that. And of course, and so he's like, let's just go back. And she's like, no, we can't do that. I can't do that. And then she leaves. And it's like, what does that mean? Like, after this disaster date, she's not like, yeah, you know what? Great. Let's just go back to what she's like, can't get enough of him. She wants more. I don't fucking remember what happens in this. I gotta watch this. I feel like I'm having a fucking meltdown on this episode. I can't believe. Okay, it may surprise some of y'all on this one. Now he's coming back to the club and he's going through security gate, and Mr. Chatty McChatterson, leans in his window, wants to strike up his life story again. And Larry just puts his foot down and he says, you know what? He keeps doing this, resetting the relationship throughout. He's like, let's go back to window up, friendly wave, how you doing, whatever. And the guy gets upset and he basically says, fuck you. And of course, this is the rare instance, I don't know if I've ever done this on the show. Maybe I have. Where like, I would never do this. I would just either move to another state or throw a poisonous snake in the guy's booth or something. I would never have the balls I would just keep this charade up until one of us fucking drop dead. I feel myself compelled to give Larry the win here. At least he was honest, which is what people say they like about Larry the best is honesty. At least he was honest with the guy, and he just said, "Look, I can't do this anymore." And he said nothing against you, nothing personal, blah blah blah. He did everything. He did it as good as you can. Obviously, the guy's pissed off. He should be, even though he should know. He knows Larry's the only one who talks to him anyway. So it's rough. Nobody likes it. There's no real winners here except Larry. Larry, the next time he comes rolling through with the hey wave. But I got to give Larry a little credit for being an adult and doing the right thing and being honest. So what the hell? 2-7, Larry. 2-7, buddy. And it's the only time Larry apologizes. When he's driving, when he's talking to the guy, he says, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry about this. He couldn't apologize for, is your baby Asian or any of the other millions of times he says dumb shit. For this, he apologizes. Again, let's give credit to Larry here. Here's another fucking, I just can't with this show. Now he's talking to Jeff, and Jeff is like, what's his face? Tom Hanks' kid, his future son-in-law, is really upset that you didn't say thank you for your service. And they don't get into a fight. Larry's immediately like, what can I do? But the first thing he thinks of is, I think the guy's name is Victor, the security gate guy. Victor does this Revolutionary War reenactment stuff. So it's like, you went through all this, and then the first thing you think of is, hey, let me get back together with Victor. On a social setting, let me get back together with Victor. So anything that happens from now on with this Victor guy is 1,000% Larry's fault. I don't care if he comes in and just pisses all over his face or whatever, kicks his dog. Come on, this is insane. Come on. You're a gazillionaire, and the only thing you think of to make it up to this kid, take him to a nice dinner, Broadway show, or whatever show. No, let me get back together. Let me call up this guy who I've been desperate to avoid for the last year, to the point that I just hurt his feelings, whatever. Let me immediately get back and run around with Victor. All right, what the fuck? But this is totally the whole. Of course, we have to see if Larry does something in the beginning of the show. We have to see the person again. It's like Chekov's gun. If you see a gun in the first act, then in the third act, that gun has to show up when you're walking around Los Angeles and, whatever. So it's just fucking, I can't. I think we're witnessing a real-time breakdown right now with me watching this episode. Anyway, this season brought to you by Cheetos. Cheetos, fuck you. You know you love them. Okay, now Larry's back at the club, and he confronts the waiter from the other day, who the other day when he was part of the worst lunch ever, he had the Dover sole. He had asked the waiter if the chef doesn't make a face, if he could broil my Dover sole instead of saute it. And now he's confronting the chef, and the chef made the face he made, and Larry's like, oh, he should have told me that was a face. And I don't even know who he's arguing against. He gets a fucking loss. 2-8 is ridiculous. Plus, I think I'm even more pissed off. We're supposed to believe Larry somehow knows that if you presented him Dover sole, he'd know if the difference between if it was sauteed or broiled. Really? This motherfucker born in Sheepshead Bay in 1947, probably ate fucking boiled cabbage fucking every day until he went to college. Has a tender palate. You can notice the difference between that. Fuck that. 2-8, Larry. Come on. Okay, now here in Larry and Tom Hanks' rapper kid are all dressed up. They're at this American Revolution reenactment. First of all, the PTSD was brought up early in the episode, so what could go wrong here? Second of all, are these things something you can really just pop in for a couple of hours on a Saturday? Like, these guys seem really fanatical about these reenactments. It seems like you really need to know what you're doing, even getting the fucking outfits. Like, how do you... but, of course, you just pop in or whatever. So, anyway, that's where we are right now. The American Revolution reenactment. And I have a feeling we're going to run into Victor, the security gate guy. I don't know. Something tells me. Anyway, don't forget this season of XMAS Enthusiasm is brought to you by Cheetos. Cheetos! Oh, fuck you. We know you love them. Oops, let me jump in here. Turns out the guy's name isn't Victor. I don't know where I got Victor from. I've been saying his name is Sal. And Sal right now at this reenactment has spotted Larry, and he seems to have real cannons shooting real cannonballs, which, I mean, another thing I didn't know about these reenactment things. Anyway, sorry, Sal. We'll always miss you, Victor. But although the funny thing is, I'm guessing after this, Sal will be sent to jail or something, firing real cannons at people. So did Larry play 11th level chess here, and this is how he gets rid of the guy in the end? I mean, I doubt it, but somebody has to root for this motherfucker. And like, how do you even learn this was probably 10 years ago, let's say 2016. In 2016, how did you even learn how to shoot real cannons? Like, is that still a thing? Is that part of the Army training? Like, by the way, did you get your day of cannon training in case we time travel back to the 1700s? Like, how do you learn how to use real live cannons? Cannon or cannons? In this century. Anyway. Oh, and here's we're going to wrap this all up with a thrilling example of the #1 Curb Your Enthusiasm manifesto. If Larry David leaves his house, at some point he's going to randomly bump into somebody he knows. So I don't think I talked about it much, but he got in trouble at the club with Mr. Takahashi for his Asian baby comment. Got back to him, so he's like, I'm going to decide if I'm going to keep it in the club or not or whatever. And so, of course, after this American Revolution War reenactment, which these reenactments look even dumber than I thought. So something. Anyway, guess who he happens to walk by? Mr. Takahashi's car, and he's in the car making out with the friend's wife, the mother of the Asian quote-unquote baby. And so now we see what happened. And of course, Larry just happened to walk up on them. And now, because he stumbled upon this, all of his problems with the club and Mr. Takahashi, who runs the club, I don't know if you people know that. You should if you listen to the show. Tell your friends. Now all those problems are gone because, of course, Larry David just happened to walking all about LA or whatever, just happened to walk by the one car where he could solve all his problems. Because that's normal. Anyway, I didn't have a score to go there, but fucking hell. Okay, and to wrap things up, Larry's walking home from this disastrous reenactment thing. I don't know why he can't just call a cab or whatever, call a car or whatever. And they post a woman that he pissed off so much, he's been withholding his mail for days. Happens to be riding by, of course, and says, hey, asshole, and throws a box that hits him in the head and drives off. And, like, this was the most nondescript date in the world. And yet Larry wants us to think she's, like, worked so enraged that he, like, rebuffed her or, like, didn't whatever with, that she's just enraged by this. You know, it's like you got to get out of jail free card, sweetheart. Like, I don't know what possessed you to go on the date in the first place, but wipe the sweat off the brow and go, oh, dodge that fucking bullet, and move on. So I don't know. Anyway, there's a long time without any new scores, but so we wrap up the first episode with a score 2 wins and 8 losses. So the minute I said, gee, it sounds like we're going to have a lot of scoring for this one. It seems like it got shut down right now, so maybe I should have kept my fucking mouth shut. 2 and 8 to start out with. So this I gotta say, listen to this in my head right now. I may have to threaten to bring my goddaughter on for one of these episodes because I seem to drop the F-bombs with even more frequency, and she's the one that gets on my ass about that, the language. So maybe I'll try to have her on this season to keep me in check with that a little bit. Anyway, it's great to be back. I hope everybody enjoyed this, and look forward to the next episode of Extra Enthusiasm. Thanks, everybody. And don't forget, this season is brought to you by Cheetos. Cheetos, fuck you. We know you love them. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.